Hey guys, just doing a quick sound check because I actually had to change a few bits and pieces around last time I went live. Just make sure the sound quality's there. Pretty sure it is. Yes, it indeed is. I just had to just double check because I actually changed it so I could do some recording earlier. So I'm working on some fan art stuff for some upcoming shows, but also I've got a bunch of, you know, so I appeared live last week, actually this time last week. And I did an interview with another YouTuber where I talked about, of all things, interestingly enough, how I discovered the carnivore diet. Oh, by the way, for anyone who's just tuning in, and hello to everyone who is currently out there. Feel free to jump in the chat and let me know how I'm doing and how you're doing as well. This is Soundwave from the Transformers, and I'm drawing a caricature of him. He is one of the Decepticons, and he is by far my favorite of pretty much all the Transformers. That's absolutely right. Yes, I grew up watching this guy. He's voiced by the legendary Frank Welker, who did a bunch of other voices like Megatron. He's essentially the guy that very much iconic voice actor. He also did a lot of voices in Disney movies. So he was. Thank you very much. Fake beard. No, I recently shaved this. I gave it a bit of a trim, so I'm a little bit cleaner than I normally appear. So with this caricature, I am sort of doing like a condensed, more squashed down version of this guy here. Even his shoulder mounted cannon's really cool. So they made a fully automated, well, not fully automated, but like an actual robot version that, like, he transforms automatically without you needing to, unjumble the puzzle. Well, thank you very much. How many dots has he got? He got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 8. So 1, 2, 3. So I've got a final really fun like ending for May coming up. So I still want to acknowledge Mermay. Like May the Fourth be with you was it wasn't nearly as like popular or interesting as I was hoping for. I think it's because a lot of what made Star Wars like really fun and really popular and interesting, I think that goodwill is definitely gone now, and it's noticeable. And I don't think it's ever coming back. That's really sad. Hey there, Popper's Official. Yes, I do remember. I'm glad to have you on board. It's It's cool to see some familiar faces and some new ones as well. So I grew up with these characters, and like you rewatch old episodes, like there's clips of the old Transformers show everywhere. You know, you can find entire episodes, sometimes even series, just uploaded to YouTube and stuff. And watching these old cartoons as an adult, you kind of see how like poorly made a lot of them were. Like you could see, you know, just how cheap the animation actually was. Like it was rushed. It was a lot of the characters were off model. You could see, you know, glaring inaccuracies in, you know, just how these things were put together. And you know that was fine because these shows were made for kids back in the day. Oh no. Oh, okay. I see. So summer's pretty brutal where you are at the moment. Well, I gotta tell you that uh, we're supposed to it's supposed to be like autumn going into winter here in Australia, and it has never been warmer. It has just been a consistently balmy, like 20 some degrees, 21 who measures temperature using Fahrenheit. That's actually kind of warm. So yeah, it's we've had 20 degrees, 19 degrees, 18 degrees, 17 degrees. Like it's just been consistently nice, borderline muggy. Yes, I do. I do. I remember you drawing that very cool little tribute to Chewbacca. It is always good to meet a fellow artist along the way. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why is he talking so much, and why isn't he drawing more? Don't worry, don't worry. I'm getting on. I'm getting onto it. Don't worry. So, what is your wonderful news, if you don't mind me asking, and if you don't mind sharing it? Oh, excellent. That's excellent news. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in just a quick thumbnail layer. I use these for just mapping out what I want this thing to look like. So I'm going to turn down the opacity on that, and I'm going to duplicate and shrink in just a little bit. going to turn off this layer here. I'm going to put this guy into multiply so I can see through him, and also turn down his opacity. And now I'm just going to Hey there, I am currently drawing a caricature of the character Soundwave from the original animated series Transformers. I'm just blocking in the shape of what I want to draw here. So a bit of fan art, rushed fan art. Hey there, Lizzie Cat 18. Nice to see you. So you're definitely wanting to do some more Star Wars themed stuff. I think that's cool because, like, to be honest, I think Star Wars as a brand really needs to go back to its roots. It has to return to being purely a nerd brand. It has to be for geeks once again. Oh, thank you very much. Like, it started out as a geek brand, it got like really inflated, it became this whole like mainstream, should be for everyone, is for everyone, let's make this, you know, this once mysterious, cool, interesting thing as like accessible to all demographics at all times for everyone. And I think it just diluted it to such a degree that it stopped being for anyone. And that's why I think Star Wars, if Star Wars just sort of goes back to being a bit more niche, a bit more curated for a specific demographic, I think it will find its voice once again. But unfortunately, as it stands, I think that ship has sailed. I don't think we're ever going to get the kind of Star Wars that just had that mystery to it. There's so much of it that's been revealed and expanded on, and we just have this like world now where we know everything about everything, and it becomes kind of irrelevant. I'm not happy with that hand. Oh yeah, no worries. If you need to take care of your needs, absolutely. Don't let me don't let me, like again. If you are needing to watch this at a later point, it's available on my channel. The whole kit and caboodle, the whole thing. So sort of doing a mirror version of this leg here. So yeah, I do want to see like Star Wars, even if it just sort of takes a bit of a break, goes on hiatus, just we don't really need this much of it. And I don't think even George Lucas, when he was making it, was expecting it to be this like all-encompassing and a pillar of pop culture as we know it. Like, it was just supposed to be a fun little movie, a space opera, and then it just got completely out of hand. This I'm currently drawing on an app called Procreate. So Procreate is so you want to add where the fingers go, sort of fan them out a bit. Just going to duplicate that layer, shrink him down, move him across. I've been streaming for about 22 minutes at this current point. So not on for super long or anything like that, but you know. But I started as a content. Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. Careful now. That's one of the pitfalls of. So you want to measure these out a little bit. So yeah, as I was saying, I'd love to see, Star Wars come back to life, but I don't think that's going to be the case. It's interesting because recently the Mandalorian and Grogu was the latest movie release, and it's the first time there's been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the first time there's been a cinematic release of a Star Wars movie, and apparently nobody noticed. I mean, enough people did notice to, write reviews on it and stuff like that. But if there's any like real concrete evidence that the magic, the wonder, the undying devotion to all things Star Wars has definitely died down. It's the comparison between the opening night for A Phantom Menace, or is it The Phantom Menace or A Phantom? I think it's The Phantom Menace. Yeah, The Phantom Menace and Mando and Grogu, or Mando and Baby Yoda. Like the comparison between those two movies. Now, this is obviously during a time before the internet, and I remember when that movie came out, and yeah, I wasn't. The interesting thing is, I wasn't particularly excited when that movie came out, and I was around for it, and I was technically the key demographic for that movie as well. But the thing is, like, I was born the year the the last movie of the first original trilogy came out. Hey there, Blue Pee-wee. Just draw that Decepticon logo. It sort of comes up like this. I always thought the Decepticons were cooler than the Autobots. But they're a lot more rough around the edges. But the older I get, the more I kind of understand that thinking Megatron was cool just because he had more of a human face. It was just a bit silly in the long run. Like the different versions they made of Megatron, I think they betrayed that character big time. It's like, why they made him look that way in the live action Transformers movie, I to this day do not know why. It's almost as if they said, hey, you know how this character looks this particular way? Why don't we just make him not look like that at all and just leave it to the fans to decide? And I think that's a very kind of boom, like it's like a boomer Gen X attitude towards making stuff, and I think that particular style of storytelling has definitely run its course at this point. just like, hey, let's subvert expectations and let's make things just look awful and ugly and weird for no other reason than wouldn't it be interesting if that's what the end product looked like. It's kind of like trying to pass off sort of plant-based meat as something that would make a barbecue awesome. It's like, yeah, not even close, my friend. One moment, please. I'm drawing him a little bit like a Gundam. I mean, all the Transformers kind of have that similar, very Japanese style look to them. We'll liquefy that just a little bit, just tilt it up ever so slightly. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I very rarely draw like mechanical things on a live stream. So normally it's just human faces, um, organic things, just people, characters, cartoons, and whatnot. Like I like sort of challenging myself a little bit and branching out. This is a great way to flex a little bit because I'm still a little bit tender and a little bit sore from last night's gym session. Do you ever like neglect going to the gym for months, and you've got your membership active, but you just neglect it completely, and then you go, oh look, I'm going to return, and I'm going to get this thing called my diet and exercise plan under some form of control, and you go really like crazy, because you haven't been in a while. You sort of have this level of energy that gets unlocked as soon as you start lifting weights again, and you sort of power through your workout like you're basically invincible and you've been doing it for years. And then you wake up the following day in this sheer agony, and there's really nothing that prepares you for it. Like, you think, oh yeah, I'll be fine. Like my body, it snaps back like that, but not necessarily. You leave working out for long enough, and your body, whether you like it or not, if you remain sedentary and inactive for long enough, it will go back to its default position of I will get back pain if I sit too long, kind of stuff. You see people complaining about things online and everything, and this is one guy on TikTok, for instance, and he's always like, I take a power nap on a friend's fold-out couch, or, I just sleep in my own bed and I wake up and I'm basically, some form of paralyzed, and just thinking, dude, you're a young man. Complaining about that kind of stuff is fine if you're just looking for, a cheap laugh and everything, but that's just crazy. And I think the just off the topic for a second, I love the fact that of all the Transformers that I remember as a kid, Soundwave stands out really because he's the most relatable of all the Transformers. Like, he literally transforms into an appliance. He turns into a stereo. I still have the stereo. Like, we don't really use it, but like, we still have it, and it still works. Like, we've had it since like the 1990s, and it's a relic of a time before computers basically took over everything. It still has a tape deck. You can still record music with it. It's a piece of ancient technology from a time when, waiting for the right song to come onto the radio so you could press record and play at the same time, so you could trap a version of it where hopefully the DJ who's presenting the song isn't talking over it, was a real skill. A skill that I still have. I will do my best to remember everybody who supported me along the way, and I do thank you guys. Thank you for the subscriptions. I do appreciate it. Also, if you're watching me on other platforms, thank you again also for the follows, whatever it is. I do appreciate that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna boost up the opacity on this guy. I'm gonna shrink him down just a teeny bit. The small version. Make sure to put in his gun. Like these guys don't normally carry guns, only when they're fighting and stuff. So I might actually draw him with his hand on his hip. Hey there, how's it going? So I want to put these legs in, but I want to make them slightly smaller and a little bit longer. So what I do is just sort of try to line these up as best I can. I don't want them to bow down or anything like that either. Oh, wait a minute. Careful not to draw on that layer. Isn't it interesting, like, you sort of find a channel that you like, you subscribe to them, and you think, you know what, I'm gonna like this person's content forever. And then, like, you just sort of forget. You just think, oh, I guess that person doesn't matter anymore, or he went somewhere. And I find that seems to have happened with a few people that I've followed. Sort of jump onto the different platforms, and I try to find them. I try to find them again, and you know, I sort of I'm almost relieved to find that they haven't died. You know what I mean? Like you just think, oh, I hope he's okay, because you know he hasn't posted in a while. Then you realize, yeah, he's alive and well, or she, or you know whatever content creator you're thinking about. But at some point, they just abandoned their entire channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. And look, as it's been made abundantly clear through demographics and Nielsen ratings testing, there's something for everyone. You just have to find out what it is. So what you want to do when you're building something like this, you want a solid representation of what it's going to look like in a silhouette version. So if I were to block this in, I'll just draw this other foot real quick. Oh, careful. Pineapple charger? Where? What do you mean pineapple charger? I think that's the most random thing anyone's put in the chat. I have no idea. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words of support and all that. So you can kind of see how they transform as well and what slots into what. Now this is still very rough. It's not a reflection of what the finished art is going to look like. It will look something more like this, but this is just a reference. Just currently blocking in all the shading. Thank you. So I want to keep this one to a very simple 1 hour live stream. Not a huge amount of fanfare or nothing like that. Yes, this guy's part of a series of fan art drawings that I sort of really want to bring to life. I'm going to draw Optimus and Bumblebee and Megatron as well. Because realistically, those guys, those sort of core members of good guys and bad guys, except for maybe Starscream. I think everyone kind of hated Starscream because he was such a. His voice was just awful. Oh, don't worry, I've got no intentions of giving up. But this is just a sketch part of what I'll be doing. The really cool stuff is when I take this to the next level and I do the whole thing as as finished art. But that'll be for another stream. This guy here, this is Soundwave from the old Transformers series. He's one of the Decepticons, and he's honestly my favorite because his voice is just so cool. Because his voice sounds like very robotic. Like if you pull up clips, especially from the old show, you hear Frank Welker doing his voice, but it's modulated, so it sounds more like the robot voice in the Daft Punk songs. It's very cool. There's something almost comforting about this like Soundwave's voice, even though he's supposed to be sounding like a bad guy, because it sounds so smooth and like almost melodic. He kind of sounds a bit like a DJ. I can see you, Paul Ace, yes. Now we're closing in on the final stretch here. Now, obviously, this is not a one-to-one accurate copy of the source material. Like I've had to make a few, actually quite a lot. Of different artistic choices. But it's all gravy. Yeah, I had some folks come up to me during the last convention I was at, wanting to know if I taught classes, and I'm like, not really. I can, and I have like taught in the past, but I don't really teach. I just sort of just draw what I like, and if you like what I'm drawing here, like feel free to copy it. I mean, this is a copyright protected character anyway, so I'm just doing some fan art. But you know, you're more than welcome to imitate the style. I don't think this is the first time that these characters have been represented as like sort of chibi versions of themselves either. So there's that too. Yes. I'm planning on reworking a bunch of like old Pokemon drawings that I did way back in the day. Like I'm talking like 2018 time, and yeah, I what I did was I sort of set myself this goal that I would draw all 151 of the old Pokemon, and I did. I ended up drawing them all, but the ones that I did, like I'm happy with most of them. But there are a few in there that I need to rework. Like they're not quite where I want them to be. So I'll be returning to that one in due time. So it's interesting. Like you think like the art that you produce back then, you kind of have this sort of rose tinted glasses effect where you're not entirely sure that you like what you've produced. But if you know if it's still like popular, if people are still quoting it or liking it or whatever, then yeah, you've absolutely won. And look, I miss old school Pokemon just as much as I miss old school Transformers, but I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. Like there's parts of like I was mentioning before with the whole Star Wars thing. I genuinely think there are parts of our of what we grow up with that is totally fine to grow out of. Like I think one of the major issues that we're facing as like millennials and Gen Z, Gen X, Gen Z, and millennials is we're kind of stuck in a perpetual loop of reliving and staying very much enamored with our childhoods and stuff. And that's totally fine to a degree. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to draw this if I wasn't like, very much, um, a fan of the stuff I grew up with. But there's just things that I am totally fine with just never really consuming ever again. Oh yeah, look, if you got to go to sleep, go to sleep. Don't let me keep you up, and don't feel obliged to continue watching on account of me. But look, if it's all the same, I'm actually finished. So thanks once again, guys, for everyone who tuned in, even if it was only for a short time. I do appreciate all the kind words, jumping in the chat, asking if I can say 6-7, for instance. That's always a fun time, and yeah, I will endeavor to bring you guys more content like this down the track. But I have spoken too much, and you're here to watch me draw, not here to watch me pontificate about everything and anything. So until next time, guys, I will see you when I see you.